All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to episode 8 of our Hard Times Hog Farm Gameplay Series. I am the Ultra Farmer, and we got a really big episode today. There's a ton of work that we need to do. We're going to be purchasing a new field today and getting it planted in corn, which means we've got to spend some more money, which is fine because we've been making some good money lately on the pigs. Our second barn is growing nicely. We've got to continue to make pig food. We're going to have to harvest some fields and do our normal chores around the farm. So let's get into it today. We've got to get into getting this first field bought, or this newest field bought, and we got to start planting some corn. And I'm thinking we're going to have to go buy a new planter. So let's get right into it. Let's get to work. Let's start planting corn and get this farm growing. Okay, so I'm just pulling around here with our tractor. I'm going to take this planter up to the store and I'm going to trade it in for a newer one. There's a couple things that I want to do today. I'm going to be trading in. I'm going to be trading in that tanker, the slurry tanker, and I'm going to be trading in obviously this planter and getting a new one. So the reason, let's go into this. Yeah, let's go right into the store. So used vehicles. This tanker has come through on the used vehicles, which is awesome. It'll spread, or it'll hold 18 meters and it'll do a 14-meter spread of the slurry. Plus, this will just help with transporting the slurry around the farm. So, 24 grand's pretty cheap. We could probably, I don't know exactly what we'll get for that other one. Let's go check and see what it's worth. 18 grand. Yeah, so like this is almost like a straight trade across since that one's on sale. So that's pretty awesome there. Now, the planter that I want to get, or what I'm thinking of getting, is going to be, where are we, planters? Probably this guy. It'll do 9 meters wide, it'll plant, and it'll fertilize at the same time. It only requires 180 horse. It'll hold a decent amount to do 11 miles an hour. Obviously, I would like some of these bigger ones, right, to do a little bit more, but this is a pretty good one. And it's nice that it's only 180 horse because, well, let's just run over real quick. We can just run over to this field that I'm going to buy. So the neighbor's field here, they did end up plowing it for us, which is nice. So I'm going to buy this field. Nothing's planted on it. It is 100% fertilized too, which is nice. But like, notice it's got some pretty good hills here. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're buying implements and you're like planning it out for your tractor. It might be 180 horsepower implement, but if you have a 180 horsepower tractor and then you come to hit a hill like this, it can be difficult for that tractor to pull that up. So luckily our tractor, I upgraded the engine in it to it having 225 horse in our gray one. So it should be able to pull that planter really good, and it'll just help all around kind of get that field. But what I want to do, since we're in here, let's buy this field right now. So this is 272,000. We're going to buy this field. Cha-ching. Okay. And I'm going to head up to the store. I'm going to take this planter and I'm going to swap it. And I'm going to see if the boys will, since we're such good customers up there, maybe they'll fill that thing with some seed and fertilizer for us, We're a pretty good customer to these guys, so we'll see if they can do that for us. But yeah, I'm going to go grab that planter and I'll meet you guys. I'll meet you guys when we're on our way back. And we're going to basically go immediately set someone to start using it. And then we're going to swap out those slurry tankers. All right, I'm just pulling in here with the new rig. Look at it. It's pretty sharp, Pretty sharp looking. Also, in case you're just wondering, well, actually, I'll take it over to the field. I'll show you. Another thing I forgot to tell you guys that I did in the wintertime is a good set of rollers came up through the stores. So I got these rollers, a little bit bigger, which will help with this other bigger field. Just kind of in general, even our second field that we bought down there on the south side is a bit bigger. So, yeah, I grabbed those. I'm going to slowly be doing that, kind of spending money when I maybe shouldn't be. I mean, rollers aren't the most important thing, but I'm slowly just trying to upgrade all our stuff as we go. If I see a good seeder, I'm going to do that as well. But one thing I didn't know when I very first used this planter, it was a long time ago, but like I was just like sitting here and I don't know, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I didn't know that you had to disconnect it and then connect to it from the side. Now maybe you're watching this going, well, duh. Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like, what is going on here? Like, why won't it work? Why won't it work? Yeah, you have to connect to it from the side here. Again, maybe everybody knew that and it's just me, but yeah, I didn't know that. Being honest. The boys at the shop also filled this up with seed and fertilizer for us. I sweet talked them into it. Plus the other one had a whole bunch of seed and fertilizer in it, so they said, yeah, we'll get you filled up. But I'm gonna set a worker to do this, and gotta go get that slurry tanker, and then gonna just be doing some chores around the farm, getting the animals fed. I'm going to kind of just be going back and forth watching this tractor, making sure that it doesn't struggle too much on the hill. But yeah, I'm going to go grab that other tanker, which I'll bring. Oh, look at this. Let's watch a pass go down here with our new planter. This should go pretty quick. Yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm excited that we got this field, and this will really help. We'll be able to make some serious pig food now that we got this other field. But yeah, let's go grab that other tanker and do some chores around the farm. All right, I'm just coming back now. Got this tanker unit. This little tractor pulls it, I mean, okay right now, but it is empty. So we'll see if this little tractor can still do it when it's full of slurry. Like, it probably won't, but we might be able to just struggle through a little bit. Not too sure. Might have to end up getting another tractor, but you know how we like doing that. Also, another thing is, let's just go, or here, I'll jump out and I'll run around. So I obviously originally had this manure heap, and it was, you know, if you're with us from the beginning, it was a struggle to get these manure heaps to work. And I thought when I put this barn down that I would, you know, need to have a second one. But this second one is also connected to this first one. I didn't think it would be close enough. Like, I wasn't really too sure how close it had to be, but all the manure that we're getting just keeps collecting into this heap, and not, the other one's completely empty. So I'm going to end up selling this heap. Let's just do it right now. And so we can use one for both of these barns. I wasn't really too sure. I didn't know if it had to be, because like the slurry is down here. So I thought maybe the heap needed to be where the slurry kind of trigger was for it to all work. Wasn't too sure. But yeah, luckily we only need one of these. So yeah, an extra little bit of cash there for us. It could go towards our planter that we bought. And now we got kind of another spot here where we can park some stuff, which is awesome. All the slurry I had moved over into the production facility, so we'll be able to just let this. Actually, I could probably just let this sit right like that. But I want to grab some pig food. Let's just jump out and see exactly how much pig food we got in here. About 3,000 liters. Okay, and we got offspring coming in 1 month. Offspring coming in 1 month. Nice. So almost 300 pigs in here, and I believe there's 72 over in this one. Yeah, 72. So let's get some food put in these units. We produced a whole bunch of potatoes, and now the greenhouse is out of manure, so it's not producing potatoes anymore, but I'm just going to let it sit like that because there was like 80,000 liters of potatoes or something that it produced. We don't really need to produce that anymore, but we're running low on pig food. We're starting to run low on pig food, so we're probably going to have to buy some, which is fine. It almost got us through the winter. Almost got us through, well, no, it did get us through the winter. It almost got us through 1 year, which is, that's good. I'm going to consider that a win. Let's go fill this one first. And then I'll dump into that other one. It should work out. Like I said, if we got to buy a little bit, it's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We got enough cash sitting that we can buy for a few months. We just got to get to September. Right? September, that's when we'll be harvesting wheat and the canola. August, September-ish area. That's when we'll be harvesting that other stuff. Because we've got, let me just back in here. Get it dialed right in. Okay, drop that out. Let's go into our pig. Yeah, so we're missing canola. That's really what we need to finish this recipe, and we'll be harvesting our canola field. Where's canola? In July. So we just got to get through a couple months, and then we'll be able to make some more pig food. And then right after that, the wheat will be ready. Or I guess right at the same time, my mistake. Right at the same time, the wheat will be ready. We can harvest that, and then boom, in October, the corn should be ready. So it'll just be a few months of buying pig food, which, like I said, it's not really the end of the world. I'm gonna go get the last of it, or almost the last of it, load it in here. I'll park it in front of the barn, so hopefully the pigs can just munch through. And really, I mean, if we seriously ran out of money, which we wouldn't, we could sell off a bunch of pigs, even if they're not at the most optimal time. That doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter at all. So let's spin around here. We'll back this in. And then let's go just check on that planter and make sure nothing weird's happening. Or we'll see how it how it's going on those hills. Let's do a little dump. Is it working? Nice. Alright, let's come back over. Alright, we're coming down the hill. Yeah, it's always nice coming down. And we'll see how it goes pulling that hill. 11 miles an hour, so it plants pretty quick. That's a pretty good pull across this field. It really won't take that long either. Can I go into this mode? It's kind of hard to tell with this fog. Not too bad though. Not too bad. That's going to be a serious field of corn. I guess the only thing I'm kind of worried about now then is maybe the combine might struggle a little bit going up that hill. How much horsepower is our combine? 155 horse. That's not that much. Not for a combine to be going up a hill. Okay. Well, well, we'll be able to fudge through it. You know how we can fudge through things. I think we'll be able to fudge through it. 6 miles an hour these headers will only go at anyways, so, I mean, that's not that fast. I mean, see, it pulls it a little hard there. Drop down to 8 mile an hour on the hill. That's not too bad, though. That's not too bad. That's a pretty decent hill, like, I mean, really. And it's starting to, I think, well, I'm gonna say, does it kind of mellow out on that other side? Maybe not. 155 horse for that combine, though. That's not really much. Okay, well, we'll just wait and see. We'll wait and see. We won't worry about it until we got to worry about it. Worst case scenario. Like, I mean, there's this combine, but it's only 102 horse. We're not really feeling like downgrading. If we had to buy a new combine, let's just pretend here. I've got some mods that are cheaper ones. 220 horse. I mean, that one's 70 grand. That's not the end of the world. 220 horse, it would hold 7,500 liters. 16 miles an hour. This one's 102. Yeah, these guys are 102. 155, 155, 175, 75. Yeah, so, you know, around, we could be able to fudge through it. Maybe we'll try and get this guy at some point. Worst case, we could sell off some pigs and buy this if we had to, if we absolutely had to. But okay, well, I'm gonna finish letting this guy plant, and then what I'll do is I'll bring you back, and we'll roll this field together. We'll test out those new rollers. We'll see how this tractor pulls those rollers up that hill, and yeah, we'll roll out our new field. All right, so I was just dropping off the weeding unit there because we, you know, after we plant, we always got to deal with weeds. So let's see if we can somehow, I don't know how this trailer got jammed. I definitely didn't park it like this, so I don't know how this got in here. Maybe let's grab some fuel while we're sitting right here. Okay, not too bad. Got that field planted. We got the weeds pulled off it. Now let's go test out these new rollers. I was doing some stuff too while the field was planting. I got us you know, some little roads built through here to connect us to the new fields. And then I got us another road kind of that goes up through the trees there. And I did some gravel work around the new hog barn. Okay, let's unfold these guys. Now these are 12, almost 12 and a half meters wide, 12.3. Let's get the GPS going on these bad boys. I always drop it down a little bit just to make sure I get all my overlaps. Okay, not too bad. Now this is the only thing that worries me. The only thing that worries me is pulling that hill. Pulling that hill. But what that means is if we gotta buy a new tractor, I mean, I guess we gotta buy a new tractor. It is what it is. So we'll see how it goes here. Oh, nice. Looks like the GPS navigates these corners, which is pretty crazy. It usually never will just like stick to a tight corner like that. Missed a little bit there. That's okay though. That's okay. I'm sure the corn will grow. I'm sure the corn will grow. Let's see if we can get this corner dialed in though. Oh yeah, there we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Hopefully the neighbors aren't watching us try and pull this field with this tractor. 7 miles an hour though. Let me just let me set the cruise here for a second. Let's go into our. That's what these pull at. So it's not like it's pulling slow, and they only require 180. We got 225 with this tractor. So hopefully this will work good. It just seems like they're going slow, but it's not really that bad. Okay. So, all right. Well, what I think we'll do here, let's do a little time lapse of us pulling this field, just in case we are going slow up the hills here. We'll crank up the speed just a little bit. But yeah, let's test out these new rollers and let's get our new field rolled and ready to go. All right, team, we are back here. So we obviously got this field nice and rolled out, and it's grown really good over the last few months. It's going up here. Yeah, 92% yield bonus. Not 100% sure why it's not higher than that, but it is what it is. Maybe after this growth. I'm not too sure. I'm not worried about it too much. But coming back here, we've got canola and wheat to harvest. So we got a bunch of stuff to do. This barn, let's go take a look. 120 pigs in this barn, and this other barn is full again. We got 478 pigs in here as well. So we're full. Again, we are full, which is fine. We knew that was going to happen. I had to buy some pig food over the last few months. It wasn't too bad. Actually, if I go in, you could probably check real quick here. Yeah, 16,000, 17,000, 20,000 as it was getting more and more just the more pigs kept growing and or being born, and yeah, the normal stuff indeed. But I want to go get harvesting. I want to get these fields harvested. So we're going to start with the canola field. I'm going to go get this combine set with a worker, and then I'm going to pull some slurry around and do some stuff, make sure these barns are filled with straw for the manure, which I've been being a little bit lazy pulling the manure into the production facility, but I've been doing the rounds with the slurry, and that little tractor pulls the big tanker. It's not, it's not dragging around at 15 mile an hour, but it is pulling it, so that's pretty good. Actually, I'm going to run over to this unit just before this guy goes in. I got to unpark this. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let's tab over to... Oh, let's get on this one right here. So I bet you this is full, darn near 24,000 liters. The nice thing about the slurry, like even though I'm paying for the pig food, or I was for the last little bit, the the amount that we get from the production facility each month almost cancels it out. I'm still down money, like as you can see, we're down. We're under 100 grand, like, but I'm making like 12,000, 10 to 12,000 a month from the slurry. A little bit more now. There was a little bit less that was coming through in the barn, but now I'm getting just about full barnfuls from the main barn, and there should be like 5 or 6 thousand liters in the other barn as well. So that it almost offset the amount of pig food that we had to buy, which not quite, but still pretty good. And now that we can harvest this canola and we'll be able to make a whole bunch of pig food, we're going to be sitting pretty all right. I'm just going to come over to this one and just see how much was in here. I'm thinking there should be like 5 or 6 thousand liters. I didn't really check when I was showing you how many pigs were in here. Yeah, 6,000. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So let's grab this, and then I'll swing around, and I should be able to grab the last out of the main barn here. Yeah, I mean, this pulls it all right. It's not too crazy, but I mean, I think this tractor only goes at 15 miles an hour anyways, so I'd say it's perfect. Now, spreading slurry on the fields with this thing, I don't know about that. Like, that one hill is pretty good. Even with the rollers, though, it pulled it all right. The one time I was going up, I seen it drop down to 6 miles an hour. So, I mean, looking pretty good, I think, all things considered. I'm just really excited that we're going to be able to get some canola going, and then we can get back to making our own pig food. Because we got a good stock of corn in there. Plus, obviously, we're going to harvest that wheat field. We'll be able to bale that field and get some straw from it, which is nice. Although, I've got a bunch of straw in the production facility here. I'm starting to think maybe we should bale. I don't know if I feel like baling it. Yeah, we'll see. We got a lot of work to do before we get to that field anyways, so I'm just going to park this right here. The new planters worked real good. Maybe I'll pull this over. I'm just going to pull this right out of the way. Yeah, the new planter worked really good. The rollers worked pretty good. They're kind of slow, but that doesn't really matter. We're only rolling a couple fields once a year, so it's not too bad. Let's go down and see how much canola this combine's got in it. Can I tab over to it? Okay. 2,300 liters. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Is he spinning around there? Got a bunch of storm damage on the field that I'll have to deal with. Like the wheat field is looking rough. Oh yeah, look at that storm damage. Quite a bit. Such is life, though. That's life as a farmer. Yeah, this one is super beat up. I don't know, we might have to plow this field. Yeah, maybe we will plow these fields, even though they don't really need to, but well, I'll figure all that out in a bit. I'm just going to keep going with the harvest here. I'll kind of bring you back as we get done both this canola and this wheat field. All right, so we got this canola field done. I'm just going to drop over. I kept everything in this tractor. So we got 11,777 liters off that field. And I'm just going to head this combine over. Yeah, we had so much damage on this field. I'm still thinking I might just plow this field and kind of start right over with it. Rather than like pulling cultivators and then trying to fix those spots with the plow. I might just kind of give her a once over and get it plowed out. So I'm going to get a worker started on this field. Although I'm not going to bale this field. I just decided I'm just going to, for this harvest, just cut it and we'll take the grain. And we're getting enough straw kind of out of the production facility. It's kind of like a byproduct from it. And like, I'm not really using manure that much anyway, so I think for this one I'm just going to leave it, and maybe we'll do straw bales next time. Maybe. Just not, I don't know if I feel like baling right now. But, okay, so let's go back over and let's go dump this into the silos so we can get our pig food making some more of. Pig food making some more of. Good talking. I don't know. I'm still kind of going back and forth. Like, I might plant this field in wheat, this smaller one, and do that bigger field down there in canola the next time. I'm kind of going back and forth. I don't know, because we might be ahead enough now on wheat production. Now that I get like a big harvest off that wheat field, let's just go into this. Because I still had 7,000 liters of the wheat. Depending what we get off there, I don't know. It's too, I don't know if there's a right way or a wrong way to do it, to be honest, but I'm trying to just make it so I used a bunch of the canola. Now, essentially, we need the least amount of canola, but we don't get that much yield. Like, I wonder how much more yield we'll get from the wheat off that field. So I'm just going to try and see when this is all done, kind of what's going to be the best route. Do I put the small field in canola again, or do I put the large field in canola and drop that small one down to a wheat field? I think regardless, though, I'm going to plow. I'm going to plow this field after, which I might do. I might set a plow going when the corn's being harvested and just use our little grain truck to pull it off. Maybe. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Well, no, if I'm going to be planting that, I can't do that. I got to figure that out sooner rather than later. Okay, well, I'm going to let the wheat harvest go through a bit. Yeah, because he's already got almost 3,000 liters, and we haven't even completed a full headland in here. So there could be a good amount of wheat that comes off this field. Excuse me. I'll kind of just have to wait and see. I'll slowly bring you back towards the end of it once this field is kind of being a little bit more completed. Or maybe halfway through when we get a better idea of the yield, and we'll kind of go from there. Alright, I'm just pulling in here, going to dump off some wheat. I decided to go ahead and plow that field, so I was like a little bit behind on harvesting, because I decided to use this tractor just to make it go a bit quicker. It didn't really take that long to plow that field, but it needed lime, so that's what I'm doing now with that little tractor. I'm just going through, spreading some lime on it and getting it ready. But I wanted to bring you in because this is like our first load off of that field. Just about 17,000 liters, like 16,913. So should definitely be getting, 34 plus thousand liters off that field down there. Just going to jump over to this tractor real quick and just fill it with lime. So yeah, I got this field limed. I think what I'm going to do is plant this field with wheat is going to be my plan, and we'll do the other one in canola. I'm just going to try that, see how it works out. What's the worst that happens? We wait another year. It won't be the end of the world. Plus, we got quite a bit. We had some wheat in there already, plus what we'll have after this harvest. I'm just going to load these bags up. Should be able to fit that bag and then a little bit out of this one. Hopefully this is enough to get us through everything here. If not, I got some more in the barn that I can use. Just set someone to work on that. Let's head back over to this field and see how this combine's doing. I really do, though, kind of want to get... Well, hopefully it works out where we can get a newer combine that'll hold a little bit more, especially now that we got this big cornfield. I don't know why the AI worker's doing it in the pattern that they're doing it, but they're doing it, so let's make sure we don't get hit here. Yeah, I'm thinking getting another combine will be key. We slowly just got to pick away at it. Like, the barn is full of pigs, so by the springtime, hopefully I can make enough food over the next months that'll get us into the spring. I'm hoping that's what'll happen. So I'm pretty sure we'll have enough corn to get us to, like, when we have to harvest corn, because that's only in a couple months. And then after that, we're going to be sitting pretty good with corn, I think, because we did 2 harvests off this field for corn. So worst case, if we have to do something in the future... Oh, let me back up. Sorry, buddy. Worst case, if we got to do some more kind of like, musical fields with swapping crops around, to maybe put corn back on this field and then do a harvest where we do like canola or something off that really big field. We'll be able to know a little bit better. Now that I have 3 fields, kind of a small, medium, and large, I just got to find the proper, like, rotation, if you will, to make it all work. You gonna get a dump in there? There we go. But once we get that figured, or we get far enough ahead with harvesting grain, we can kind of just do whatever we want. That'll be key. Once we can just have food, like unlimited food, we're essentially going to have unlimited money, because the one thing that'll be exciting is when we can let those barns, like let those pigs mature and only be selling them when they're at their max value, when they're worth 2,500 bucks. If we can just like have enough food that we can just sit and wait for that moment, like we'll be making some really good money off pigs. Like two barns full that are just, we're only selling at max value, like that'll be pretty good. We'll be making like, we'll probably almost make like about $1 million a year from pigs if we have two full barns. Although one thing I got to remember is that other barn doesn't hold like 500. Like our main barn holds 478. The other one only holds 369, which is still a lot of pigs, right? It's like 800 and some pigs, which is a lot of pigs. AI worker stopped. His tank is empty. Okay. Well, oh, I hope there's enough in that bag to get us through this last little bit. Let's go see. We reverse a little slow in this tractor. How much will we get out of this bag? I don't think we used too much out of this bag, though, did we? What do we got here? Oh, yeah. That should get us. Definitely go through lime like crazy, though. But yeah, this field is good to go. I didn't check and see if that other field is going to need lime or anything. I want to just get the planter going on this right now. So I'm going to go grab that. I'll drop this lime spreader off and we'll get a worker set on this field getting some wheat down. Yes, can't forget wheat. Where do I want to drop this? Doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll just drop it right there for right now. Okay. Let's get hooked onto this spreader and we'll go get some wheat on that field. I keep saying it out loud so I don't accidentally all of a sudden put canola down, because knowing me, that's what I would do. What is this seeder set to? Okay, it's set to wheat. Okay. We need a little bit of seed. We don't have to worry about fertilizer, actually, because I got a stage of fertilizer on that field. I had to do it to, like, there was a bunch of fertilizer left in that spreader, so I had to do it. So I was like, oh, I got to go spread it somewhere. Am I going to be able to fill through the wall? Nice. That is lucky. I got a pallet of seed in there, so it worked out good. But yeah, I had to burn up about 25% full of a tank, so I just went out here to spread it on this field. So we already got a stage of fertilizer down, so that'll work really good. Okay, this is going to be a wheat field. Wrong season. Oh, duh. Yeah, we can't plant. Can't plant till next. Okay, so that's good. We're ready to go. All right, I'm going to head back over. Let's go back over here, 56%. So he's going to come down that other way, and then we'll have to get another haul out of it. All right, perfect. I'll bring you back. Actually, let's jump out of this thing real quick here. There's weeds growing. There's always weeds growing. Okay, I'll bring you back once this field is complete, and we'll start cultivating it, and then we will get our canola planted. That's right. We can plant canola now. We can't plant our wheat till next month. I almost forgot. All right. Yeah, I'll be back in just a sec. Alrighty, I'm back here. We got that field all cleaned off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head over and I'm going to plow that field as well, just because there was so much storm damage on it, rather than, like I said, trying to go through, do all the cultivating, and then fix those spots with the plow, because you can't fix them with the cultivator. I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to plow this field. It really won't take that long. I'll set a worker to do it, and then I'll get the canola planted on it. And I'll get all that kind of sorted. And then I'll probably bring you back. I want to get that cornfield harvested as well. Let's just set a worker doing this real quick here. Let me get thinking. Yeah, I want to get the canola planted on this field, and then next month we got to plant the wheat on that small field, and then the month after that, yeah, that'll be September, and then October we'll be harvesting the corn. And I'll be interested to see how that harvester works on the hills, and that'll kind of determine what we do next with that combine, because it's kind of getting too small as is. If it struggles on the hill, its capacity being small isn't really that big of an issue, because It's only a couple trips to the farm to dump off. Like, it's not that big a deal. But if it's really slow going up that hill, that'll be kind of killer long term. And if I can get that other combine for like 70 grand, what can I sell ours for? I think we already looked at this. 20. Okay, yeah. I mean 20, so you're spending like 50. Um that's not too incredibly bad to do. I'll see. I'll see. I don't want to just be spending money for the sake of spending money. I would rather almost keep that combine, to be honest, even though it is a bit on the smaller side, like 20 grand. You wouldn't be able to get another combine for an extra 20 grand. So to have two, like I could have one, like when we got both these fields ready, we could be doing two harvests. Even if I get another set of grain headers, um, that really wouldn't be that much, you know. And I could always sell it in the future if I really found that we didn't need it. But yeah, again, just small little plans, nothing too crazy. But we got this field done. Let's just go check real quick. How much wheat do we got in there? 35,000 liters. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. It definitely seems like it should have been more than that. Well, no. No, that's about right. Yeah, that's about right. How much pig food have we made? Yeah, because we've already went through a bunch of this. We've already made 50,000 liters of pig food. And we're already almost out of the canola. That's crazy. Yeah, we need to do a big field in canola. Like a massive field. Or maybe two fields. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I can tell you what we definitely can do. Wrong button. Yeah, there was so much storm damage. I'll just... Oh, look at this storm damage. Oh, no, that's not our field. Oh my god, though. I thought that was our new field for a second. Holy crap. Let's go look at this field. Oh my god. That's a storm that pulled through. No wonder our fields were so destroyed. Good god. That cornfield's pristine, though. Look at that cornfield. Okay, what I was getting at is we might have to try and buy one of these fields. That might be our next. That one's 400 grand. That's pretty expensive. That one's basically 400 grand. That's pretty expensive. All this storm damage here. This one's kind of too far away. I don't really want to be something. Yeah, I mean, it's 440. So really it's between field 4 and field 7. Kind of either way, it doesn't really matter. 453,000 though, that's a lot of money. Way more money than we got. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know. We'll just keep playing it by ear. We'll do this field in canola. That'll be our same plan. This field will be wheat. We'll do this field in corn again, and then we just got to save for another field. I think that's the only thing that we can do, really. And then in the future, we might have to do these two fields canola, right? Say we do 5 and 11 is canola, field 6 is wheat, and then 4 or 7 in corn, I think is going to have to be our next plan. Okay, let's get back over here. I'm going to let this field finish off. I'll get our canola planted on here, rolled out and all that stuff, and then I'll bring you back. We'll do some chores around the farm, and we'll get the wheat planted. Okay, it is September morning, early morning in September, and we are planting our wheat field, which is nice. Just going through here, I got this small tractor. This thing's all full with seed, like we had it sitting there ready to go. And yeah, I'm just going to pull around here and get everything planted. We had about 90,000 liters of food just chilling in the production facility. But yeah, canola. We're running low on the canola. So I'm glad we planted that big field out there in canola. We'll do the same thing here with wheat. We still got a ton of corn left, which I guess we must have just had so much corn originally to start with that's why. But yeah, I think in the next plant in the spring, or once we harvest that cornfield, I might have to just wait and plant something in the fall, do canola or something like that, and leave that field sitting. Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That's all we can do until we can save up enough cash to get another field. You know, this field right beside us would be pretty awesome, although it's massive, so it would be a bit of an undertaking to work. It'd probably be nice to have a little bit bigger of a seeder and stuff, but it really is just going to take time because we're at a good spot now where at least we are making food each year, and we have enough pigs that, like I said before, the slurry is almost paying for everything. You know what I mean? We're almost paying for the amount of pig food that we need. Jeez, I kind of missed a little spot there. I'll have to catch that on the other way around, which is good. So it'll just take time now. I'm not going to rush anything. It'll just happen as it happens. Just like everything else, it's just one step at a time. We were 300K in debt, and we just slowly grinded our way out. So it'll be nice. For some reason in my mind, I just had it like, well, once the pig food making production facilities down, then we're set. But really, we got to be set with the amount of grain that we can produce each year to fulfill that. Just because the pigs eat so much food, it's crazy. If we only had 100 pigs in each barn, it would be a little bit different. But yeah, it'll be a year where we have to, unless I sell off a bunch of the pigs. But I think what I'm going to do is just wait, scrape through with what we have. If we have to sell some pigs to maybe get another combine, like if the combine is just can barely pull up that hill to harvest the corn, then maybe I'll sell some pigs just to go buy a new harvester. But I think I'm just going to scrape through with this cash and just let the pigs try and grow in value as much as possible. Let them get to the point where they're at worth $2,500 a piece before I sell. And then if I do that, like I said, it'll take a few months. It might take till next year at this time, but that's where we'll make the most amount of money. So, yeah, that's kind of the goal as of right now. But, okay, I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to get this field planted, and then the next main thing that we're going to do is obviously harvesting that corn and figuring out how that harvester is going to work, kind of, and all that stuff. So I'll keep going on this field. I'll bring you back in October, and we'll get our new field harvested. Okay, she is October, and that means it is corn harvesting season. Oh yeah, look at this field. God, I love harvesting corn. That's got to be, yeah, I've said it before, easily one of my favorites. Okay, I'm gonna set a worker to start on this, and I'm gonna come over here, and I think I'm just gonna use this tractor, because it'll be a little bit easier. But I'm gonna pull some slurry around and get it dumped into the production facility. We made some good money last month with the slurry. And we also had a surplus of animals that were born. So whenever the barns are full and the animals still reproduce, those animals will just automatically be sold. So we made a little bit of money from that. They're sold at like a really low value, so it kind of sucks. But it's better than it going to waste, almost, if that makes sense. It just automatically sells them off. So we had 25,000 liters of slurry in the main barn. And I think there's 13,000 in the secondary barn, which is pretty good. Like, that's going to start really adding up too. Like, that'll definitely help with the food situation. And we still got about 90,000 liters of food. It's producing a little bit more. We needed a few more potatoes, so I put some more manure in the greenhouse and got the potatoes going again. You can see they're growing in there a little bit. Let's pull over here and get the last little bit out of this barn. Yeah, 7,000 liters here. Perfect. 7,000 on the button. Okay. And yeah, we'll get that field harvested, and we'll go from there. It's gonna be just kind of a slower year. We're running out of, I don't want to say we're running out of stuff to do, but we're really playing the waiting game now with the crops and the pigs. We just have to like feed them and let them, hit maturity and all that stuff, and then try to sell them off. Which, that being said, what I'm gonna do is we'll fill this guy up. Yeah, there's 14,000 liters in there. Let's just check this barn, and let's just see where everyone's at. Yeah, so these pigs are at 2,200, 2,200, another 2,200. That's the original Kobe Bryant 24. So we'll be able to sell those in a couple months once they hit. I think they're going to go through one more stage of reproduction, and then we'll sell them. Is going to be the plan. So these guys are 75%. They'll probably have offspring next month. These guys are at 0%, so they just had offspring, which makes sense. And let's just jump back in this tractor. We'll spin around here, and I'll check this other barn on the way by. snake behind this trailer here. Okay, let's see. What do we got going on here? Okay, 1,700. Yeah, so we got to wait a little bit more for these guys. Reproductions at 25%. Yeah, we got to wait a little bit more, obviously. Okay, so not really too much that we can sell just yet. Again, I really just want to wait. I don't want to sell if we don't have to, or until we have to, rather. I'd rather burn through all this money buying pig food, and really let's get them to their highest value. Let's just jump over. Okay, we're going to be going down this hill. I wonder how it went up. I'll have to pay attention a little bit better. But, you know, again, these headers only go at 6 miles an hour, so it might just be fine. I mean, really, if it's going downhill at that speed, even if it climbs the hill at 4 miles an hour, it's really not that big a deal. So I think this harvester will be fine for now. We'll just wait, and actually, let's go see if anything's on sale. 60 grand for that truck, right on. What is this? Windrower, okay. We're not logging. We already got a baler. We already can haul slurry. We already can fertilize. We don't need a zoom boom, and we don't need any other balers. 6 grand for that, though. That's a good deal. Catch that at the beginning of a series when you're trying to make money. That's a good one right there. All right, let's go back and watch this down. Oh, yeah. Okay, what I should do is let's drop this slurry tanker off. We need to grab our trailer and head over and get ready to start catching some corn out of that combine. So let's drop this guy off right here. Nice. Okay, spin around. Yeah, the pigs will be going through some food, but we'll be okay. We got enough money plus the pig food in to get us to the point where those guys are worth a lot of money. Plus that original 24 will be worth 2,500 bucks in a couple months, so we should be good. All right, let's go get some corn out of this bad boy. Will we make it in time? Oh yeah, we got to jog around this whole part. So it would have come out and climbed that field right away. I didn't know which way it would go around this field. Oh, we got a little creek that runs through our property. I didn't even know that. The creek. The creek. Alright, will we make it in time? What a massive cornfield. That's awesome. Yeah, but I'm thinking we'll probably have to do this field in canola. I'm going to have to wait and just hold this field off till next fall. What could I do in the meantime? You know, I could probably, just to make some cash, we could see, I could plant oats in it in the springtime, because then they'll be done by the fall, and then it would just be some extra cash. I don't really know what we would do with the oats other than just take it and sell it. There's also sorghum in the grain silos that I never really did anything with. It was going to be part of the original pig food making production facility, and now we don't need any sorghum, so I'd have to take that off and sell it at some point. Not that we would make much money. There's 9,000 liters in there. Even if it's like 300 bucks, that's not really going to be that much money. So, but regardless, I could do oats just to make some money off this field. It'd be cool if there was like a part of this game where you could rent your property out for a season or something like that. You could rent it out to the neighbors and let them farm it in the springtime and then take it back in the fall after they've cut, and we could do our canola on it. Kind of neat if there was stuff like that. But, okay, I'm just going to keep going along here, harvesting this cornfield. I'll kind of bring you back as we progress, and I'll hook back onto this trailer because I hit the wrong button. And yeah, we'll see how much corn we get off this. Okay, so I'm just pulling off our field here, just getting this cornfield all finished off. I think we got about 50,000 liters worth of corn off that field. Like, we got a bunch. It was 3 full trailer fulls that I came and dumped in. And then just this little bit that's sitting in the combine right now that I'm going to dump into the silos. But pretty good. We got 112,000 liters. That's good right there. Yeah, we got 112,000, or be about 113 now. Yeah. all said and done. So we're pretty much styling for corn. I mean, for a little bit, like it's just canola that we're gonna be short on. So I'm definitely gonna be doing canola on that big field in the fall. I don't know. It'll just be a weird year because I gotta like flip all the fields, and yeah, it'll just be a weird year of trying to do something. I don't know if I'll do like oats or something in the springtime to even like worry about it on that field. I don't know if I will. I think I might just wait and just get to next fall and just kind of go from there. Put some canola on it, and then I can put corn on one of our fields out here. It doesn't really matter. I mean, hopefully at that point, even if it works out, hopefully we've made enough money that maybe we can just buy one of these other bigger fields and just kind of go from there. I don't really know what the best plan is, to be honest. I think maybe I should have planted more. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all hindsight now. It is what it is, and we'll just keep grinding away. Oh, I gotta go fuel this thing up before we do anything. Okay, I'm gonna park this. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go grab our cultivators. Where's our truck? There we go, our tractor. I'm gonna go hook onto our cultivators and just get them going on this field, and then that way, by the time I kind of do a few more little chores around here, I can get everything. Actually, I can just sit right there. Then I can kind of sleep through and keep planning out with the pigs. I want to just get some pigs to the. I'm gonna just slowly be selling them over the next little bit, and then yeah, like next episode, what we'll be doing definitely is there'll be some pigs to sell off. There'll be fields to work. We got to cut and harvest those wheat and canola fields that are planted out there right now, and then get into the following spring from that and plant canola probably in that big field out there. Hopefully at that time, maybe I have enough money we can buy this field right beside us. That's 400 and some, 430,000. Could work. Yeah, that's kind of my plan. So I think that's probably going to do it for this episode. I think it was a good spot to end it. I'm just going to set a worker to start on this field. Another thing too, the combine pulled this hill pretty good. Right here is like the steepest part, and it would drop down, and it would be going about 4 miles an hour. And but yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Oh no, this field says it needs plowing. What? It was just plowed. You guys saw it. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about cultivating it then. That's crazy. It was just plowed. That's so cheesy. Oh well. Whatever. I'll go get the plows and I'll set them to work on it. Dang. Dang, that sucks. That field was plowed. Y'all 100% seen it. Okay, no worries. We'll grab the plows and we'll get plowing on it. Yeah, okay. I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you stuck around to this point, I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good afternoon, evening, morning, whenever it is that you are watching this. We'll have a lot of work to do next episode. A lot more work. We got fields to prep, and we're chasing this never-ending dream of just having endless pig food. But we'll get there. We'll slowly pick away at it, and eventually get there. I'm happy with how the farm progressed in this episode. We got a new planter. We got a new slurry tanker. We did good. Our rollers are upgraded. We bought another field. We got a huge harvest done. And we've got a whole bunch more pig food that we can use. So all in all, I think it's a pretty successful one. Thank you again so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next episode. And have a good day.